I'm back again. I actually kept sort of to my schedule this time. It's been about 2 weeks, well, 2 weeks and a day, to be honest, since the last time I made a video, so back on schedule. How's about that? Today is September 26th, 2017. This is episode 18, and hopefully it's not going to be quite as long as the last one, though we'll see. I'm not going to do a full walkthrough of all of my works in progress like I did last time, so that'll help. I have a couple of works in progress that I have to show you. Nothing's finished because I'm me, and finishes are few and far between. I do have some haul to show you. Quite a bit of haul, really, for me. But, you know, we all go through phases. We buy things, and then we go through phases where we don't buy things, and then we go back to buying again. I'm currently in a buying phase, I guess, or I was. And I might, if the video is not too long, do maybe, I know there was a trend to do 20 random things about yourself. I realized I never did the get to know your needleworker tag like most people do when they do their first video. I probably should have done that at some point, but I never did. By now, if you've been following along, you probably know a little bit about me anyway, enough about me, that doing the get to know your needleworker tag at this point would be sort of silly, redundant, I don't know. So I'm not going to do that tag, but there was the 20 random things about you. I don't know that I have 20. I don't know that the video needs 20 about me, or that anybody would be interested in 20 random things about me, to be honest. But I might do 10. It just depends on how long the video goes. So, grab your stitching if you want to stitch while you watch. Grab something to drink. I have something to drink, which you will probably see a couple times. And let's get started, I guess. Oh, before I do get started, thank you to everybody who is watching the video, of course. If you're coming back and watching me again, welcome back. If you have just found me, hi, I'm Sarah, if I didn't say that, otherwise known as Little Snips, the name of the channel, the name of one of my businesses, and yeah. Still not exactly used to being back in the flow of all of this, so, you know, I stumble sometimes. I also feel like I might look a little run down or sound a little bit run down. I'm not really, I'm tired. I just got done working a Ren Fair. I worked at the Folsom Ren Fair in Folsom, California this past weekend. So I was running around doing crazy fair things and talking to a lot of people, excuse me, talking to a lot of people and shouting, and so my voice feels like it's a little rough to me. So I apologize if it sounds weird or something. I don't think it sounds terribly weird, but you have now been warned. So, what do I have to show you? I need to find something to put behind this before I show it to you. This will work. Last time I showed you my works in progress, I said I couldn't find my counted canvas piece, and of course the minute I turned the camera off, I found it. But I didn't want to go back and put it in that video because it was long enough, so I will show you this time. Oh, and the last video I didn't edit at all. I recorded it and then I just uploaded it to YouTube, and while it's functional and it's fine and you can see most of what I wanted you to see, the quality wasn't the greatest because I didn't do anything to it other than upload it. So I think this time I'll go back to editing things and putting pictures in and running it through various formatting things. So hopefully the quality will be better. It's going to take me a little longer, so it won't be an immediate video post. But hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit more detail, truer color, that kind of thing, and I will feel better about the video. Since my shirt is showing, I don't know, this is like amusing me because you can actually see my shirt this time. So I'm wearing my brown coat shirt, which says brown coat, obviously, and then it says, may have been the losing side, still not convinced it was the wrong one, which sort of sums up my feeling about daily life right now. And that's all of the politics I will put in this video. I'm sorry, and you're welcome. Anyway, I said I couldn't find my counted canvas piece. I did find it. This is the Cobalt piece by Needle Delight Originals. Needle Delight, plural, Originals. Which I was introduced to by watching Danielle, the Stitcherista, and then I went and looked at her website and fell in love, and I would like to own pretty much everything she's designed. This is where I am so far on my piece, which is the Cobalt piece. And before I do that, I will go back and I will find a place where I have a picture or a clip of what this looked like before. And then I will show you where I am now. So this is how far I've gotten. The piece is designed to be worked with the smaller pieces, so these smaller squares. Sorry, still getting used to the directions on the camera. The smaller squares, which are connected or surround this center square. This little blue square right here. This is a starting square. But they're designed to be worked, that's sort of straight, designed to be worked sort of diagonally out. So the two smaller squares are completed. These squares are mirrored and they're completed, and then there are two larger squares that finish the whole piece. And then it can be stretched and mounted and framed or whatever I'm going to do with it. I don't know exactly, but framed probably. And then hung on a wall or something. I don't have any plans for most of the stuff that I do. I mean, unless it's specifically being made for somebody. So anyway, this is the Cobalt piece. Cobalt by Needle Delights Originals, and I'm about halfway finished with it, and I like it quite a bit. It's not... you know, I keep talking about I struggle with the lighting because too bright and you can't see anything, too dark and you can't see anything. So this is not showing the color real well, but it's blue. It's lots of shades of blue. And I really should figure out, one day I will actually figure out the right lighting and you guys will be able to see everything the way I want you to see it. Anyway, that is the counted canvas piece. So it's needle point in various threads and flosses and textures, and not cross stitch at all. Okay, what else do I want to show you? Oh, let me show you this. If you follow me on Instagram, you have already seen this. If you are in Stitch Mania, you've probably already seen this, even though you don't remember it, because there are a lot of people who are working on this project right now, and I am not caught up to date. It is another stitch along. I discussed this last video. I'm not caught up to date. I'm not going to be caught up to date. I'm giving myself permission to not be up to date on my stitch-alongs as long as I work on them when I feel like working on them, because that's the whole point, right? We do things we like to do because we like to do them, not because we have pressure or any sort of arm twisting to get us to do them, hopefully. That's true, right? You're not stitching because somebody's telling you, you must stitch. Are you? I hope not. I hope you're doing it because you're having fun. Anyway, this is the Spooky Halloween Stitch Along by Doreen Jones and Lakeside Needlecraft. I put a piece of fabric behind it, or I actually put a piece of foam behind it so you can see it. But last time I was, I think I was about here, like about halfway through this section of the border. Obviously, this time I have it completely finished. And it's, cute. I hate the camera. Yeah. So this is, again, a piece of 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. It is a little bit warmer than you are seeing it on the video, but it is purple. There are no sparkles. There is purple and blue in it, no sparkles. 18 count Aida. This is the whole border. A lot of people are doing it without the 2017 here. They're leaving this blank until they finish it so they can decide what to put there. I just decided to go ahead and do it because it's 2017. It will hopefully be done before the end of 2017, so there you go. But all black. That is a lot of 310, DMC 310. And the fourth piece, I think, is out now, so there are houses and cute little creepy characters that are in here, and glow-in-the-dark thread, and all sorts of cool things. But I'm done with the border, so go me! I finished a relatively large chunk of work, I think, in the last 2 weeks. did, you know, 3/4 of that border, and I'm ready to start stitching on the first clip. When I will do that, I don't know. It might come up in this next 2 weeks. It might not. It just, again, depends on what I feel like. But the border is finished. And I'm pretty proud about that. What else did I stitch on? I didn't stitch on a lot. I am, as I said in the last video, I'm doing a lot of different crafts right now. I'm doing a lot of crochet, some knitting, some stitching, doing some plastic canvas work. I'm trying to build up an inventory of things that I can take to craft fairs this fall, in the run-up to and during the holidays season. So I'm sort of divided between things, so I don't have a lot of stitching progress to show you, but I think I said this too, I have felt the siren call of things that I started that need to be finished that are pulling me back into stitching. Of course, the flip side of that is when I feel like I want to stitch things, I also feel like I want to start things. So I did start something, which I don't really need to start. I really didn't need a new project, but I have one anyway. And those of you who have been around for a few months, at least, will probably recognize this. I'm just going to fold the fabric. It's out of the hoop. But I'm just going to fold the fabric. I do not work on stretcher bars or anything, sorry, so you won't see anything stretched out unless I stretch it out in hand. So this is my new project. I'll put it over here because it seems to show up on the camera better. This is the new project, and if you are not familiar with what this is a crooked. This is Save the Stitches by Elizabeth Almond, otherwise known, or I think her company name is Blackwork Journey. So this is just, I did the outline, as you can see, this is the first block. So it's 5 patterns. It goes over here, ends with this little diamond piece. This is block 5, or part 5 of the first block. This is the outline of the first block, plus an extra diamond. And then this here is the, it's called a diaper pattern, but the fill-in pattern of actual black work. This is the first block completed. It does have the metallic light effect DMC in it. I did not get the copper because it was out, and also because I felt like that was too brassy a color for me. What I'm using is, I believe it's 869, which is basically metallic brown. It looks copper when you get up close. It's very dark. You can't necessarily tell the difference between the black and the metallic copper until you see the shine, which you're not going to see on my video. But I did this in just a few days. I did this, I started it last Friday and finished it yesterday. So given the fact that I was working the Renaissance Fair most of the weekend, I think that's pretty good for me anyway. I know there are a lot of people out there who would have had this whole block filled and probably have moved on to at least 1 or 2 more. That's not me, but I did finish it, and so Save the Stitches by Liz Almond. I will go find a picture of this and insert what it will look like completed here. And I will put a link to the pattern or to the website in the notes below, because it is a free collection of blackwork patterns. You can go and do it yourself. Lots of people have done it or are doing it, and I love blackwork, and that's why I started it. So I stitched on that too. And that's it. Like I said, I didn't work on a lot because I was sort of focused on finishing the border, to be honest with you. That took up most of my time, and then doing the other crafts also took up a good chunk of time. So that's all the stitching I have to show you. I hope you're not disappointed, but I did make progress, so. And then I got a bunch of haul, because I'm like that. And as I said, I'm in a buying phase. So the first thing I did, this is going to be another new start. Another project that I don't really need to start because I have enough that I'm rotating through that I make very little progress. But it's another start that I want to do, so I'm going to do it. And that is the Bands of Variation sampler that will be starting in the Lakeside Needlecraft group on Facebook on October 1st. You can pre-order the pattern or the kits with fabric and everything from Lakeside Needlecraft now, and I will put a link down below for that as well. but the pattern, or the stitch along itself, is going to start on October 1st. It is another Doreen Jones stitch along. This one is a band sampler that she's designed, and it uses the DMC Variations flosses, which I have ordered. Now, I ordered these on my own, collected the bits, or the colors that I could collect from my local Michaels, and then I ordered from 123 Stitch. So I did not order through Lakeside Needlecraft. You don't have to if you don't want to. They're in the UK. I figured I could probably get them somewhere here, either at a store or by ordering from, say, 123 Stitch. At less cost to me with shipping and everything, so that's what I did. But Lakeside Needlecraft is offering kits and kits with floss and fabric if you're interested in that, or just the fabric, or just the floss, or they have it all, and they're great. And if you want to use them, or if you're in the UK and it's easier for you to use them, do so, please, because Kate and her company are amazing. Anyway, I have the colors that are required for the bright rainbow version of the band sampler, of Bands of Variation. It's a rainbow. I mean, I don't know that I have anything exciting to say other than it's a rainbow of, where's the camera? Excuse me while I throw things on the floor. It's a rainbow of variations, the newer version of the variegated floss from DMC. So I will be ready, well, ready-ish to start on Sunday. This Sunday, October 1st, is when the first clue comes out. As I've said, I'm a Doreen Jones kind of girl, and it appealed to me. The idea of doing a band sampler appealed to me. The twisted band sampler from Northern Expressions Needlework is on my list of things I'd like to do, as is the twisted rainbow. I think that's what the other one is called. They look similar to me, but they're different patterns, different samplers. But I haven't purchased them yet, and so I'm going to do this one first. Whew. I feel like I talked a lot, and I'm only 17 minutes into the video, so I must be talking really quickly. If I'm talking too quickly for you, I'm really sorry. My filters are all out of whack today for some reason. If you remember last episode, I talked about Barbara Bates and her international angels. I showed you the Native American angel that I got. I showed you the Japanese angel that I got in a kit that I didn't even realize was a Barbara Bates design until I saw the back of my Native American angel and realized that I already had one of them. So I went back to Amazon because I can be quite the addict when I find something I want. I went back to Amazon and I got a couple more things. Also, part of the reason why I got a couple more things is because Ingeborg from A Stitch Too Far mentioned in a comment on my video that she had found one that I was looking for at a much more reasonable price than I saw the first time I looked. So I had to go and buy that, snapped it up, because I really wanted it, and I wanted it but didn't want to pay what the first person was asking. So I got, the first one I got was the 6 Angels by Barbara Bates. Now these, I checked and double-checked and triple-checked to make sure that these were different patterns, that I was not going to be buying something that I had already bought as an individual pattern. But as far as I can tell, these are unique, meaning they are not duplicated in any of the individual flyers, I think. The one on the front is the Angel of the Southwest, with her wolf. Wolf, that's a wolf right there, and her colorful dress. There is an angel, a South American angel, that I also would really like to sort of round out my Native American, excuse me again, my Native American collection of angels, I guess. But this, on the front, she is the Angel of the Southwest, and then on the back, of course, like you usually do with leaflet books, you have examples of what all of the angels in the book are. This one, I believe, well, I'm going to have to guess, or I could actually open the book and look, but This one I know is the Candyland Angel. Try to see if I can get that so you can see it. She's the Candyland Angel. I'm going to look in the book because I don't remember what all of them are anymore. This one here, that one is the Celestial Angel. This is, sorry, I should have been more prepared to do this. Is that the Candyland Angel? Yeah, that was the Candyland Angel. Why is it mislabeled in the... Oh, no, it's not. I just can't read. I can show you the bigger pictures, too. So this one is the Angel of the Garden. Camera work is so hard. It really is. Angel of the Garden. This one is the Woodland Angel. So you see the raccoon and the deer. She's holding a swan or a duck. Woodland Angel. That's not a swan or a duck. That is a Canadian goose. And then the Guardian Angel, of course, is a guardian angel with her children. And let me see if there's a bigger picture of... I don't think there is. So I'll just show you the front again. Again, Angel of the Saha. Wah. I should stop doing this, but Angel of the Southwest with her wolf and feathers and lovely colors. And anyway, 6 Heavenly Designs by Barbara Bates. You can find this on Amazon used. You might be able to find it somewhere else used, but that's where I got it from. The other one is the one that Ingeborg pointed out to me, and the one that I said I really wanted last episode. I will take it out of its lovely sleeve, just because it's already shiny. But it is the African Angel. Now again, this one is one I wanted because you don't really see African angels really. Kind of like the Japanese angel. And as my husband said, yes, I realize it's a geisha with wings. That it's just a geisha with wings. But I like it. But you don't see a lot of African angels, and so I wanted this one. So I got it. Thank you, Ingeborg. Even though it made me spend money, but thank you anyway. Anyway, that's the African Angel. And again, there are, as usual, there are examples of the other angels in the series. Where's the South American? This one, here by my finger, is the South American Angel. I am actually really fond of the Nordic Angel, which is the one my finger is pointing to. Nope, this one right here. I'm actually really fond of her too. The Celtic Angel is another one that I would really like. But really, I think they're all gorgeous, and if I had them all, I would not complain about having them all. Whether I'm going to actually collect them all, I don't know. But there you go. The African Angel as well. And I'm not going to mess with that because crinkle. And then, as I said, I ordered thread from 123 Stitch, and because you can't order things from, small amounts of things from 123 Stitch without them having company, I ordered other stuff. I ordered the Wise Owl from Rosewood Manor. I don't know if you can read that. Cute little owls and things, and it says, I will read it to you in case you can't, in case my camera is fuzzy. It says, there was an old owl who lived in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Oh, if man were like that wise old bird. Appropriate. I just felt it was appropriate. Plus, it's cute. Plus, I like owls. Plus, I like Rosewood Manor. So this is my first Rosewood Manor pattern. Will not be my last, I promise you. But I picked that one up. I also picked up the Tall Oaks pattern from the Cricket collection. And again, I will take it out of the sleeve because the pamphlet is already shiny and plastic is not going to make it any less shiny. But this is what the tall oaks pattern looks like, or will look like when it's completed. And again, this has writing on it which says, "Tall oaks from little acorns grow." So it's supposed to be a birth sampler now, or a birth piece. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I may just stitch the design itself, because I don't know, I like it, because that's why I like it. I don't necessarily have anybody who needs a birth sampler that has this on it. I have people I could probably give it to, but again, I don't have a plan for it, and that's okay. I don't need a plan for it. I also mentioned that I wanted to do a lot of, if not all of, the Mill Hill Santas. Not all of them, because I got the wrong one when I ordered from Mill Hill, or from 123 Stitch. They sent me the wrong one, and I do not want the one that I got. I have no interest in stitching that one. So I'm going to send it back, but they did replace it with the one that I did want, which was one of the Celtic Santas. This is the Ireland Santa, and you have seen him before. Like, you've seen him a lot, I'm sure, but I finally got one of the Celtic Santas, so. And the other thing I got, I'm going to lean, excuse me. I was planning to stitch something for my uncle. I stitched a pattern from my aunt last year for Christmas, and I was going to stitch one for my uncle this year. I planned to do one that was the same sort of style, but the more I looked at the pattern, the less I liked it. So I had decided that I was going to look for something else. I found a pattern online that I could have downloaded and done on all my own fabric with my own collection of floss. I have my double-sided DMC collection, so I could have done that. And then I went to Joann's, and I happened to find the exact pattern that I was looking for, already kitted up. So the fabric is in here, the floss is in here. It is exactly exactly the pattern, but it was the same price that the pattern would have been to download it. So then I would have had to add on the cost of fabric and that, which is not a big deal. It wouldn't have been that much, but it was just easier to do it this way. So this is The Good Life. Who is this by? It is an Ursula Michael. I'm right. I thought it was, and I was going to say that, and then I did second guess myself. But The Good Life, you may have seen this before. Some of these things apply to my uncle, some of them don't, but it strikes me as very him, and I think he would appreciate it. So I will be starting this sometime soon as well. But yeah, has the fabric and the floss and everything in it, and it was inexpensive, so that's that. And that's it. That's all of the stuff I have to show you. I forgot to say that I was going to go back and put in pictures of things that I had already worked on, although there's only a couple. There's only the Halloween sampler and the Needle Arts Delights counted canvas work. So that's not going to take up that much time. But I will try to go back and put pictures in. Like I said, I will try to run this through a different formatting program, so it makes it a little clearer and a little cleaner, a little easier to see. Yeah, I'll try to do that. For those of you who have watched my diamonds painting videos, my diamonds tube videos, I decided, I think, that I'm not going to do separate videos. I originally thought I would, because I thought I would be doing more diamond painting, and like I said in the last video, that's sort of fallen by the wayside. Not that I don't want to do it, not that I don't still work on them, but I'm not working on them often enough that I feel like I need to do wholly separate videos. So I will, with my next video, I will start to show you progress on things that I've worked on those as well. I'll bring them back in. So if you're interested in diamond painting, obviously you can go and you can look at my older videos and see what I said in those. But I will also start to bring diamond painting back in at the end, I promise, at the end of the videos, so I can show you if I've made any progress on anything or happen to purchase anything new. And if you're interested in that, you can stick around to see that. If you're not interested, I won't be offended. Obviously, I won't know if you stop watching, so why would I be offended? But I do feel kind of guilty that I left those people who found me or found diamond painting through my videos sort of hanging, that I haven't said anything in quite a while about them. So They're coming back. I promise. I was going to do the 20 random things about me, but I got into it and I sort of felt silly doing it. Like, nobody asked me to do the 20 random things. Again, I didn't do the get to know your needleworker tag, so I don't feel like it's appropriate now. Like, I've already done my videos. Those of you who have followed me for a while have already heard me ramble and tell you things, and I don't know. It feels weird. It feels weird to try to give you, like, hi, you don't know me, and here's an introduction to me information when you do already know me, or you can go back and see what I'm like. Does that make sense? So I decided not to do the 20 random things, or 10 random things, or whatever. I hope you're not disappointed. I hope you weren't expecting to glean some amazing insight about me from those 10 random things that I'm suddenly hiding from you. I don't want to upset you or offend you. It feels weird. Maybe sometime I'll do it, but it feels weird to do it now. So, I cut it out of the middle of the video. Did I say that? I cut it out of the middle of the video. And I'm going to piece this together, so you should hopefully have about half an hour of video to watch. And I think that's enough for the small amount of stitching that I did. And you've seen my haul. I don't have any issues or platforms to get on. Oh, one thing I did want to say. I mentioned to my local group of friends, stitching friends, that I was going to look into trying to put together a a stitching retreat in Northern California, in the Sacramento area. I did do a little bit of research about that. There are places we could go, but I was also told, or also heard through that same group of people, that somebody else is already doing it. So keep your eyes open if you are in this area, or if you're on the West Coast and you're interested in coming to a retreat that's on the West Coast. I'm sure that we will have more information shortly, or hopefully shortly, but whenever we have more information, or I have more information in particular, I will let you know about it. Like I said, I was looking into it, but I'm perfectly happy to just go and stitch. I am not going to be all grabby hands and say, I was going to do it, so it has to be mine. It doesn't. I'm not that invested. Didn't do that much research. So, but hopefully, sometime in the near future, we will have information about a Northern California or a Sacramento area stitching retreat, because we don't have any here that any of us are aware of, and we would like to have one without having to travel to the middle of the country or to the East Coast. It's kind of expensive, and it sounds weird to say that because it's not exactly cheap for people to travel anywhere, but sometimes it's more expensive for us to come to you guys on the East Coast or the middle of the country, the Midwest or whatever, than it is for you to come this way, believe it or not. Fighting the headwinds, I've heard lots of excuses or reasons for why, but it is the truth. So, again, keep an eye open, keep an ear open. Hopefully in the near future there will be information about it, and we can talk about what's going to go on and who's going to be there and how excited I would be to be able to go. Until then, though, I'm going to sign off and let you go on to your stitching, or to watching other Flosstube videos, or making dinner, or chasing your children, or whatever it is that occupies your time. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me again, and I will see you again in about 2 weeks, I hope. Bye-bye.